Hello beautiful ladies and welcome back to my channel. I'm Waki and in today's tutorial we'll learn how to make this gorgeous turban cap with this very long wrap. I was inspired to make it from this style I saw on Pinterest and let's get started already. But before doing so, kindly like, subscribe and comment as you find this video very helpful. For this tutorial, we'll be making use of 1 to 1.5 yard of poly fabric, half yard mesh net fabric, and beads for decorating the front part. I had gone ahead to cut out this piece of fabric already, and the length part is how long I want my head wrap to be, while the width is my head circumference. To get your head circumference, you just take your tape and measure around the head. I'm going to drop my measurements right now on the screen. Now the measurement for the head wrap or head tie is going to work for all head sizes, but then you can go ahead to adjust the length and width to your personal preference. After cutting out my poly fabric, I'm going to cut out my knit fabric just the same way, and I'm going to stitch round just like I've used my finger to demonstrate in the video. This is the wrap part of my turban cap, and just like I indicated on the screen already, I'm just remeasuring at this point to confirm. That is 60 inches by 10 inches. We are going to fold over the wrap that way and stitch it all the way down till we get to the end. We are going to leave that end part open so that we'll be able to turn. Our turban is going to have a pleated tie. That's why we have this piece of fabric. I'm going to drop the measurements on the screen once again, and I'm folding the first step by 2 inches that way, and I'm going to fold in very little and stitch it this way, and that is what I have. You can as well iron at this point so you can have a straight finish, and then I'm pleating it over that part, just making sure that my thread is not showing at that point, and I'll go ahead and stitch that part again. Then we'll repeat the pleat that way till I have 4 pleats and then a little allowance. Now this is what my band looks like after pleating. I'll fold into two, and I'll go ahead to notch at the center of this rough part only, not the folded part. And this is what the body of my turban looks like. I'll go ahead to notch it as well and then match it up with the band that way. I'll be pinning down to secure at this point, and then when I get to my sewing machine, I'm going to stitch it down. This is what the wrap looks like after sewing. I'll go ahead to bring it out to the right side. Hold the body of the turban with the band that way and mark the head circumference above at that point. I'm going to be sewing it the way I've demonstrated to have the backdrop effect. Now I've gone ahead to curve the lower part of my turban cap, and I'm cutting it out. Remember that our turban cap has a wrap, so we'll go ahead and fix the wrap that way just after the pleats. What we'll be doing now is to pin it in place, and then while sewing we are going to carry it in a way that the part of the wrap will not interfere with our stitch. Before stitching, go ahead to pin that part down, and then if your machine cannot sew this heavy part, you can use your thread and hand needle to make it. I used my electric machine and it was able to sew that part. I'm going ahead to cut out following the stitch at that point with about half an inch seam allowance. Up next, we'll be making the back gathers. To make these back gathers, we use our thread and needle to run loose stitches round our back points. Just watch the screen, you will see how I'm doing right now. And then when you are done, you are going to pull up the thread that way, and then you sew multiple times at that point to secure before cutting out your thread. You can secure this point for up to 5 or 6 times before cutting it out. And then this is the final look of our turban cap. I missed the video where I showed how to bead, but in my spare time maybe I'll find time to film that part also. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.